Hello? Let's get started. Let's have a look of LAB7 at first. This week we have already learned the cellular network. So we know what is this, and we need to understand some basic concepts before we do the labs. Let me open the slides. Before we do the labs, we need to have a look of the lecture slides. Basically, the key concepts of the cellular network is this one. You need to know what is this formula, what is N and I and J. And if you know what is N, I, and J, then how do you draw the maps, draw the graphs like this? Okay. So after reading that, you also need to understand what is this example here. This example tell you how to draw the cellular network map. And then we can have a look of it. Task 1. The cluster size equal to 9, which means the n is 9, right? So we need to have a look of here. This equation. The n is 9, so can we calculate what is I and j? Yes, of course. So in here, we can use a for loop. Sorry, not this one. And use Python to run a for loop to figure out what is the I and j value. Here. So define a function that accepts n and use a for loop for I in like range 10 and for j in range 10. And if n equals the formula, and then we print the results of it. So I equals to I and j. Okay. So we can use this function to help us to calculate the possible value for I and j. So we can see for the first question, the I and j could be 0 and 3. Then you can start to draw these graphs. And let's see how to draw the graphs. You can go to this website and then use these images here for me. And then you have one in your, you can start to draw it. Like for example here, and 1, 2, 3. So if I equal to 3, then I should draw an A here. 1, 2, 3, A, 1, 2, 3, something like that. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So that's the first question, and you need to do other two by yourself. Is that okay? Let's. What is the second one? The second one n is equal to 12, so you can calculate the I value by yourself. And the third one, we need to not only draw the A, but also other letters, okay? And then remember to visualize their border, outline their border with different color. So for the task one is pretty simple. If you can understand how to calculate this. And for the second task, sorry, I made some notes on here. For the second task, what we need to do is use your mobile phone and input this number and call it. Then you can see what happened in your mobile phone. You can see a dashboard. Then you can find the RSRP values on it. And then what you need to do is you need to select 2 different heights and 3 different spots on your home. So totally it's 6 different value. Maybe they are the same value. It depends. But you need to try 6 different spots on your home. Does this make sense? So for example, if your home looks like this is your home, and you can select this point, and you can select this point, and as well as this point. So there are 3 different spots, and for these 3 spots, you need to test 2 different heights. The first one is you put your mobile phone on the ground and observe the value, and then you can put it on the chair or on the table at the same spot, and then observe the ISRP value. And then you can draw a table that then tell us what is the ISRP value in the different spots at your home. And you can also draw a temperature map, heat map, if you can. Does this make sense? Well, both tasks is pretty simple for this week. And that's all for our labs. Maybe if we don't have any question, let's discuss about it projects. Okay, I guess we don't have any questions here. So let's go to our project. The first step of our project maybe is the data collection. So for the data collection, what should we do to collect more data for each second to make sure our gesture have a very high quality? Because some students may have only like 5 or 10 packets per second with the ISS value. We can consider it is not enough. So it's better that we have much as possible. I mean, as much packet as possible in 1 second. So in here, we will introduce several ways to increase the traffic between your device and the hotspot. So the first method is pretty simple. You just play an online video while capturing. So what you need to do is, if you are trying to capturing, if you are using the Windows 10, then you need to open the network monitor and make sure you don't connect to any other internet and only select Wi-Fi in these options. And then click the new capture. Before we start, we need to play a online video. Just open the YouTube or any website you want and play a video to make sure you are always downloading something. Okay, and then we can start, and you can perform some gesture and see how it goes. And another possible way is maybe better than the online video is you can open a streaming software such as Zoom. You can open a meeting with yourself, like create a meeting, online meeting, and then your computer will start to uploading the pictures and images and your voice into the internet. So we just increase a lot of traffic between your device and hotspots. And the third way is if you don't have the like internet connection, or you don't have much data to do the online streaming or online video, you can do the ping command. So for the ping command, it's pretty simple. What we need to do is to run the CMD, run the terminal. So the ping command, we can find the syntax for the ping command by use this help. So you can see there are lots of available parameters for us. But what we need to use is just simply use the ping command, maybe with the interval. I means interval. I set it as 1, which means I send 1 packet from my computer to the hotspot. And the n, which means how many packets do we want to send totally. I can set it as a very large number, such as 5,000. And the last one is the IP address we want to ping. So in here, my router's IP address is this one. It's 1.1. And I will start to send the packet to the router. And so how do I figure out what is the IP address of my router? So I use the command of ipconfig here, ipconfig, and you can use ipconfig all to show it. And see that here are my Wi-Fi adapter. So I need to find the Wi-Fi adapter in my computer and see where is the default gateway. This one, default gateway, which means this one is my router's IP address. And this one is my IP address. So remember, do not use your own IP address. Do not ping your own IP address. So if I ping this IP address, I will not get any packets. Okay. Use the default gateway. So if you are using Mac OS or Linux, you can search or use the command ifconfig. So it will basically the same, exactly the same actually. So make sure you use the right IP address, okay? Or you can simply ping the outside, such as 8.8.8.8, which is the server of Google. You can ping this address. Then you can still capture the packets. Okay. And I strongly recommend you to like set the interval less than 1, but in Windows, we are not allowed to set the interval less than 1. You can see here. But if you are using Linux and Mac, then we can set it like 0.2, which means we will increase 5 packets per second. Or you can also simply open several terminals to run this command. Or you can run a Python scripts or the PowerShell scripts or whatever script you want to increase the traffic from your computer to the router. Or you can also download the software on your mobile phone, which is your router. Then use the ping command on your mobile phone and ping this machine. I am not sure how the ping command will work. That's through as it disconnect you from the network before running the trace. So do you mean if you open the monitor mode, you are not able to connect to any Wi-Fi or connect to any router or something?
Hi, Rui. It's me, Hamel.
Yes.
So what happens is when I run into network mode,
Yes.
monitor mode, it
Yes.
first disconnects it when I start running it. So it
Yes.
disconnects me from all the networks.
Yes.
I tried before connecting back to the network before I run,
Yeah.
but then it disconnects it again.
I know. So let me see. So you are not able to connect to any network if you open the monitor mode. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm just trying again now because I've got both my devices with me,
Yes.
and seeing how if I can make it work.
Yes. Let's see. I think it's a pretty common question for the student who is using the Mac. So let's see. So if you use the ping command while you're capturing, then you can find some ICMP packets here inside the cap files.
Yeah, so there should be ICMP packets, right? Not the beacon frame.
Nope. Let me find it for you. This one is the sample I collect yesterday. You can see the ping command in here. So one of the ping command have the ISS value.
Yeah.
So the reply have one. So That's the way how we increase the traffic. And you can also just play a video or open an online meeting.
Because would the ping packets still be called Wi-Fi? I guess they're still Wi-Fi packets, correct? Or
You can have a look of the information inside it.
yeah.
And you can see here, equal ping request. Anyway, let's go to the next one, and we can discuss the problem later.
Okay.
And some students may have some trouble on how to start our project. Like I have no idea how to design any gesture, and what should I do to start? So the first one, maybe if you have no idea, we can go to the second one. Maybe you can read the paper, the YGS paper, or other paper that Mahab recommends you to read, or you can search online. And the third one is you can have a look of the GitHub, see if you can find any tools to help you, or even you can search about the codes of the previous years from the COMP 4336. Maybe you can find some previous assignment, but it's a little bit different because we have different project for every year, but it's a little bit similar. So you can have a look of it. And the fourth one is you can use the machine learning model to design this project, but it's not necessary. So if you can do the machine learning part, that would be good because the machine learning will have very high chance to give you a very good performance, very good accuracy. So, but if you want to learn about the machine learning, you can also have a look of some common library on Python, such as the scikit-learn. Such as this one. The scikit-learn is also very popular and very easy to use. But if you can use something like deep learning stuff, that would be amazing. But it is not necessary to, or not compulsory for our projects. So if you use the machine learning stuff, you will not gain any additional mark. So if you don't use the machine learning, you will not lose any marks, okay? So don't worry if you don't know how to use it and you don't want to learn about it. That's fine. If you want to use the machine learning, I recommend you to have a look of the classification stuff because we will have a classifier, and you can use the very simple one like SVM or the decision tree here, or the this one naive Bayes. Let's have a look of the decision tree here. You can see the code is pretty simple. You can have the machine learning model within maybe less than 10 lines. What you need to do is just feed this classifier and then use it to predict. That's it. So the data collection will be the most important part for your project. So what you need to do is focus on your data collection, and maybe you can get a very good result. And that's what I want to say. So anyway, we don't need to worry too much about it. The first stuff is we need to aim to get a model or get an algorithm to do our project. So if you have any idea, just do it, and let's see how it goes. And you can also like record all the stuff. You can say, at first I get the accuracy at like 50%, and how do I improve my project? I do through like option A, option B, option C, something like that. So you need to describe how you improve your project. And you may also have some question about how much data should I have? So I cannot give you a number for that because you need to prove it by yourself. For example, you need to like draw a curve to show me how many data will be enough. Maybe I can show a picture on it. Please give me a sec. Model. Let me show a graph of it. Please give me a sec. You can draw a curve like this to show how you improve your accuracy, like with the increase of the data set. Or you can also show the curve of the loss, something like that. Maybe you can make it more smooth, something like that. So with more data set we have, maybe the more accuracy or less loss we have to prove you have enough data. For example, here, I can still say I have not enough data set, right? So you need to something to prove. And I think that's all I want to say. But if you have any question, just feel free to stay here. Or if you don't, you can feel free to leave, and we'll see you next week. And if you have any question related to the project, please ask me, because we want you to start as soon as possible. So if you have any trouble on data collection, maybe we can help you to solve it. You got it to work because you have applied a filter before. Okay, that makes sense.
I'm still having a bit of issue because it's actually it's not actually getting a response. So it's pinging, but it's not getting a response back.
Okay, so why you didn't get a response? There are two reasons. The first one is you choose the wrong IP address. But I think you will not make this. You will not have this mistake, I guess. And the second one is you need to have a check of the firewall of your computer,
Okay.
or for your router. You need to have a check of it.
Yeah.
Or you can also simply ping the outside, like 8.8.8.8, It's Google server, and have a look. Do you have the connection of it?
Okay. Also got a question regarding the code. So
Yes.
I was worried about the algorithm before, and I did a bit of research, and I was thinking of using the sklearn's
Yeah.
KN model.
Yeah, you can use that.
Um, but so the way I've kind of set it up at the moment to start it is I'm using both two libraries, sklearn and
Uh-huh.
DT8,
Uh-huh.
which creates a distance time model
Uh-huh.
and one that creates a KN model. So it's very library dependent, I guess, the code. Is that okay?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
So we are not checking about this, unless you copy the code from your friend or from other students.
Yeah.
But you can feel free to use any library or method you want.
Okay.
So we are not going to ask you to create a advanced method to
Yeah.
distinguish the gesture. We just want you to have a taste of it. So
Yeah.
don't worry too much about the coding stuff.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, and for you can also use the I think you can compare different models and use the cross uh, valid stuff. Maybe I can show you later.
Yes, I'm still getting the same. It's getting TTL expired in transit.
Mhm.
When pinging the outside as well.
Sorry,
Um,
you can't see. You can't
it
see any ping command.
it's
Oh,
giving me TTL expired in transit.
maybe you can show your screen and I can have a look of it.
It's a bit difficult because I'm working off a very old laptop.
Okay. Oh, uh, so what happened is that I'll stop sharing my screen now. So if you have any question, and you can share screen and we can have a look of it. And you can also send the like picture us if you
Yeah.
want.
Hi, Ray. Can I ask some questions regarding the project?
Yeah, of course.
So, I made a lot of progress this week
Yeah.
since the last time we talked, and yeah, let me just share my screen. I can quickly
And
show you. And can I can I have the permission to share my screen? Like,
yeah, done.
okay, sweet. So, like, basically, I have done the most of the project, and I've the result I received is pretty good. So this is the coefficient matrix I produced. So I have only true false positive and a and a false negative. So otherwise, I'm receiving like a
Yeah.
very
You're doing the validation.
approximately 96% accuracy for validation.
Yes,
And
that was pretty good.
yeah. So, but I have concerns of it. So first, I will show you the 3 gesture attributes and their corresponding
Yeah.
signal windows. So the
Yes.
first one is up and down.
Yeah.
After setting a fixed number or range of intervals, like I set it to 20,
Yes.
and the time interval is 4 milliseconds, and I use some imputations for the missing data and
Yeah.
average for the like, for example, if we have
Yeah,
the
use the
redundant
mean
data,
value.
we use the mean value. And
Okay.
the first one is for the up and down, and the second one is back and forth, just back and forth, and the third one is left and right. So the first two are very distinguishable, but the first and the third is actually sometimes they mix it up. So this is why I have there's a here the up and down is identified as left and right, and left and right is identified to left and up and down.
Yeah,
So
okay.
in terms of the accuracy, I wouldn't worry about that. But just currently I have, let me show you. I have a 128. There are
Yes.
two broken signal. There are two broken gesture here. So I have
Okay.
128 gestures for each. I'm not sure if this is enough because I have so my method is using a
Yes.
deep learning model, and I trained for 500. Sorry, I have to. Yeah, I can't show my code. So I trained for like 500 epochs,
Yes.
and
Yes. And how it goes? I think it's
yeah,
pretty good now, but do you know how to use the writer summary writer? Summary writer.
summary writer and TensorBoard. I usually use that, but like I'm not sure if I should use TensorBoard and summary writer in this project.
Of course you can use it. You can draw a
Okay,
curve
okay.
to show like for example, at the 100 epoch, how was the accuracy is, and
Yeah,
compared to the 200
yeah.
one.
So
Yeah,
okay,
it's similar to this one. And
okay.
with the different number of data set, for example, you can train your data set with only, for, let's say 30 and 60 and 90 and 100, 108
Yeah.
and see how it goes. We need to see the curve.
Oh, see, I see the curve showed. I think okay. So do you think 120 gestures for each is total near 380 um
Yeah.
380 data entries enough?
So I'm not sure, but you need to prove it.
Okay, so as long as I can prove
It
this
is enough. Yeah.
yeah. But what if I have the like the graph you showed, this is still increasing? What will happen?
So but it is too much, then you can say, it's too much, I can't do that much, but I prove it at least. Yeah.
Yeah, because like the one you have, like you had like 5K data, like
Yeah, but
obviously
you don't need to have that much. That's fine.
Yeah.
You don't need to worry about that.
Yeah, okay.
Let's say because you can compare like from 400 to 500, you can see there are not much change, but still improving. But you can say, it's not worth to do that anymore.
Okay, I see. Because like in my case, is obviously is pretty
Yeah, you
pretty
can.
obvious because I already achieved like it's very
Yes.
high accuracy. Like
Yes, I think
although it's all
for
pretty
your
overfitted.
for your model, I think it's pretty good now. What you need to do is to organize it and present it.
Yeah, sure. So like for this week I will be working on the video and like the slides and the README file.
Yes.
And next week hopefully I can get these two done, and next week I can show you for some feedback.
Yeah, no problem. Just come
Thank
to
you so
me
much.
if you want. You use a portable hotspot instead of mobile phone hotspots. Of course you can. We are not required to use the mobile phone as our hotspot. So if you have a portable hotspot, then you can use it. Hotspot. Yeah, I think you can get a maybe better data set with the portable hotspot. Don't worry too much about the mobile phone stuff. I'll stop the recording now and you can share your screen if you want.